Hello, everybody. Oh, hello. This is nice. Hello, Stephen. Lovely to see you. Stephen, by the way, guys, is going to start writing his book with me in March, I believe. Is that
Yeah.
correct, Stephen? So, hope we're getting ready. Lovely to see you, Karen. I thank you for your message saying you might not be able to contribute much because you're on the train. What is it with train and Wi-Fi? They sell it to us, don't they, Karen? Amazing. I've never had amazing Wi-Fi on any train. It's ridiculous. But thank you for joining me. Welcome again, David. Lovely to see you again.
Hello,
Hello,
John.
Timo. I think this is your first time here, I think.
It is.
Welcome. Thank you very much. It's always lovely to have new faces here. And Carmen, again, I believe this is your
Hello,
first time as well. Welcome to the forum.
thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to leave that. Hopefully, there'll be a couple of more people joining up as well. So I'm going to let the room filter for about 2 or 3 minutes, but then we're going to get started at 5 past because I'm very aware you promised me 45 minutes of your time and I want to stick to 45 minutes and not try to go over or anything like that. Okay, so welcome to the Thought Leader Author Forum. For the people who haven't been here before, the point of the forum is a place of discussion. There's a reason why I've called it a forum, and the reason why it's a forum and not a workshop or a webinar, or not that I'm knocking it. I do masterclasses and webinars for other people. I do them all the time. However, the reason why I wanted to create a weekly forum was I wanted discussion, not just I'm talking and you just sit there and passively listen to me. Okay. I want you to ask me questions. I want you to tell me about the gems that you're getting or anything that you disagree with me. I don't mind when people disagree with me, by the way. I actually actively like it when people say, actually, I've had a different experience to this. Well, tell me more. I want to know more. Okay. So I think let's get started. There's probably still a few more people that are going to join, but they will join as I speak. So let me start sharing my slides. Give me 2 moments. Okay, so can you see these slides? Thumbs up. So I know, yes, awesome, fantastic. So let me just start the slideshow. So welcome to the Thought Leader Author Forum. For those who haven't been here before, it's in 2 parts. So the first part is where I will talk for about 15-20 minutes on the topic of the day. And today's topic is how do authors use their books to build passive income streams? It's the big one. You know, we love the idea of passive income streams, but many of us struggle to actually build any meaningful passive income streams. And what I've done as an author, I've built passive income streams. And also, I've watched on the sidelines as some of my authors who've then gone on to build passive income streams and found out how they've done it. So I want to impart that same knowledge to you. And then part two, as I said before, there's a reason why I call this a forum. This isn't just me talking to you and you passively listening. I would love for you to get involved, ask questions, tell me about any gems that you've discovered, tell me about things that have gone wrong for you because it can help others as well. Get involved. That's how you get the most out of the forum. Okay. So, in fact, let's actually start with that. If you go into the chat now and tell me, you've given me 45 minutes of your time today, which I really appreciate. What did you want to get out of today's forum? So, if you want to just go into the chat now and actually put in what you want to get out of today's forum, because that'll be very, very helpful. Because I will be able to figure out how did I cover it? Maybe it's something that I didn't cover. And maybe then I can cover that in the Q&A section. Or if it's a really big, juicy topic that I think, I never thought of that. Well, guess what? I'm going to create a forum maybe next week or the week after where I cover that topic. So you really, really help me by letting me know what you want to get out of today's forum. So if you put that into the chat now, and then I'm going to speak for the next 15 minutes, and then I'll actually have a look at the chat and see, did I cover that? And if there's anything I didn't cover, I will do my best to give you what you need. Okay. Because I want to make sure that you've given me 45 minutes of your time today. You actually get what you wanted out of it. Okay. So, first of all, big red button. This is like a disclaimer. There is no such thing, as far as I'm aware anyway, of a completely 100% passive income. I've seen the sales pages, I've seen the adverts, I've seen all these push button solutions. I don't buy them. I could be wrong. Maybe there is a truly passive income system out there where you can literally just push a button and you're going to be hit in the face with wads of cash. I don't buy it though. I really, really don't. If it was that simple, then surely we'd all be doing it. So there isn't, I believe, anyway. And again, please feel to disagree with me. That's what the forum is about. In the second section, if you want to say, actually, I've discovered a truly passive income stream. Well, guess what? I'm all ears. Please tell me more about it. But so far, I've yet to find something that's truly 100% passive. However, you can create almost passive income streams and they help. And they really do help as a business owner. I did this poll on Monday. And as you can see, I asked, can passive income streams be a key factor in achieving success as a purpose-led business owner? Well, to be honest, any business owner is a key factor in achieving success. And a whopping 79% of people said yes. 2% said no. And 19% said not sure. And it was quite interesting when I was looking at the comments left by people who said they were not sure. It all boiled down to the fact that they didn't truly believe that there were true passive income systems. And that is true. I always think of passive income systems. The great analogy that I use is buying a piece of property, for example, that you're going to let out to other people. It's not truly passive because it's not like you can just rent it out to somebody and then just wash your hands of it. You know, they're gonna ring up and say, you know, the boiler's not working, something gone wrong with the pipes, the shower's on the brink, it's not working. You have to do maintenance, yeah? And also in general, you have to maintain the property. It's not like you buy the property and it just stays like that. You have to maintain the property to make sure that it lasts over years. So there's always maintenance to be done. However, what's wonderful about owning property and then letting out to other people is that there is an element of passive income there, in that you can sit back a little bit. You just need to start it off and then just maintain it here and there, or pay somebody else to maintain it. And then you're getting passive income. That's the key. It's thinking of passive income streams that do take some energy and time and effort and a little bit of money as well sometimes to get going. But once it's got going, you only need to maintain it here and there, and you can build these income streams that come into your bank account. And I think as a purpose-led business owner, certainly for me, it's been eye-opening building passive income streams, because I think, as I said before, all business owners could do with passive income streams, because it's nice as a business owner to not start every month or every quarter on zero. Even if it's just a little cushion, it's nice to not start on zero every single month or every single quarter. But specifically for a purpose-led business owner, it's allowed me to say no to clients and strategic partners who don't fit my ethics and who I am as the founder of the Vegan Publisher. When you are constantly starting at zero every month or every quarter, you can fall prey to saying yes to things that you otherwise wouldn't, because you need to say yes. And I think that was the biggest thing for me building passive income streams, because as the founder of the Vegan Publisher, I wanted to work with specific people. And I'm now able to say, it's very powerful to be able to say no to money coming into your business, because you have other income streams. So you might not be rich or anything like that, but you're going to be okay. You are able to say no. So this is, anyone who's followed me for a while will know I'm a massive fan of acronyms and graphics, because that's how my brain works. And I actually figured out that actually a lot of people's brains work like that. When you give people lots of facts and figures, they don't retain it. But when you give them images and you give them acronyms and stories and things like that, then it goes into their brain. So I created this because I studied my passive income streams and also what some of my clients have done. And as you can see, I call them passive income assets. And the assets is an acronym that divides into the 5 main passive income streams a lot of my clients have built. Now, a lot of them haven't built all of them. I certainly haven't. I'm actually in the process of building all of these. I haven't built them all out yet. But I've noticed the clients who are doing really, really well have sat there and thought about diversifying their income streams. So let me just go through this and you can get an idea of what some of my clients have done. And then you can tell me whether this sounds like a good idea for you as well. So the first one for A, as you can see, is audiobooks. Audiobooks are, in general, you can charge somewhere between 3 to 5 times the cost of a book. So that helps. Books are, I don't know, I'd love to know your thoughts on this. So we can talk about this in the Q&A section. Why is it that books are so valued on one hand, and yet we complain when people ask for more than $10 or £10 for a paperback, or more than shock $5 or £5 for a Kindle? I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me, because we value books on the one hand, and yet we don't want to pay a lot for them. So making money just off books is very, very difficult. Think about how much you would charge for a paperback. Probably about $10 or £10, or maybe $15. With a Kindle, most people really get upset if it's more than £5 or £6, because for some reason, people seem to think, oh, well, that's an electronic download. You're not even sending the mail. It's ridiculous, really, because really it's all about the content in the book. But that's just how it is. I don't know why people view books as very valuable on the one hand, and yet don't want to pay much money for them. Which is why audiobooks is a great way to actually build a passive income stream. I'm actually going into the studio in May this year to create my audiobook. And for 2 reasons. One, because I know I'll be able to charge more, and people just, people just are able to, I don't know why, they justify spending more on an audiobook. I've seen audiobooks go for 25, 30, 35 pounds and above, and people will pay that for an audiobook and yet won't pay that for a physical book. So an audiobook's a great way to build a passive income stream. Is it going to be a huge passive income stream? Probably not. I think one of my clients has managed to build up her audiobook income stream to around about, she says, about $600 to $700 a month. That's probably the highest. Most of my clients who have audiobooks are probably making about $200 to $300, or maybe the equivalent in pounds. It's not a huge amount of money, but is it something that can pay off your car insurance, for example, or your home insurance or your pet insurance? Absolutely. It's one less bill for you to think about. But the other wonderful thing about audiobooks is it means people can consume your message in your book. There's a lot of people who buy books, but they don't have the time to read them. I'm one of them, by the way. I've got an entire library of books downstairs. I think I've read about a third of them. There's 2/3 waiting for me to read them. I'm not even sure when I'm going to get the time to do it. With an audiobook, you can be doing housework, you could be walking the dog, you could be doing whatever it is that you're doing and still be consuming that book. So the other wonderful thing about audiobook, apart from the fact that it builds you a small passive income stream, is that you get more people consuming your message. The more people that consume your message, the more impact you're making. And also the more likely these people want to have something to do with you and your brand. So there's profits from that as well. Okay. Second one for S is self-paced program. This is the one that I've done really well with. Now, this lends itself if you are a coach or consultant, or you have a process, I guess. If you have a process that you take people through, then naturally you can expand what you put into the book into a self-paced program. A number of my clients have done this really, really well. So they explain their process within the book, but then what they did is expanded every single thing and added in extra, explainers, workbooks, checklists, videos, whatever they wanted to do. And they expanded what their process was in their book. They expanded it into a self-paced program. It's a natural upsell to the book. Again, are you going to be making tons of money from a self-paced program? You can if you go all out and promote it everywhere. But a lot of what my clients are doing is they don't have the energy to really promote their program. They've already got their business. But what's nice is people read the book, and a percentage of people who read their book want more help. They want more advice. They want things more step by step. They then go into the program. And again, it could be just a few £100 or dollars. But that's another, an insurance paid, or maybe half your mortgage paid, or your car paid for, your monthly car payments are paid for. And again, it's nice to have these little bits of income streams. And does it need much maintenance? No. Once you've got the program up and running, the only maintenance you really have to do is just make sure that people are getting access. We all know this. There's no website is 100% fallible. I've been there where I've got an email at 8 o'clock in the evening and my website is down. And then I've got an email from a couple of people saying, hey, I'm trying to get access to your program, but it's down. So I've sent them a message saying, really, really sorry. I'm chasing it up with them. Please just leave it for tonight. Come back tomorrow. It should be back up and running. And then you have to do little bits of maintenance like that. But otherwise, I don't need to do much. I've got about 26 people in my self-paced program. And it's video step-by-step program showing them how to plan, how to write, and how to edit their own book. And they're happy and they're going through that. So think about that. Yes, it takes a little bit of effort to set up in the beginning. If you don't have much time, go and find somebody who can do it. There's some really, really good people. If you go to somewhere like Fiverr or Upwork.com, find people who know how to set up a program and then give them all the materials and they will go and set it up for you. So yes, it does take a bit of time and effort, or in some cases money in the beginning. But once you've set it up, you've now created something that when people read your book, and there's going to be a percentage of people who need more from you, you've got a program they can send them to. And it's a great place. One of my clients said what she loves about her program is the fact that her book is designed to get her clients as a life coach. However, there's people who can't afford it. She can now basically say, well, I've got a self-paced program. Go and do that. And then people go, oh, that's amazing. So you now have something that you can almost downsell to people who are either can't afford to work with you, or they're not suitable to work with you one-to-one or in a group coaching program, but you can actually send them into a self-paced program. Now that is, I'm just saying this really works like gangbusters for people who have a process. So I'm really thinking of coaches and consultants. I think it's a little bit difficult if you're a product-based business or a service-based business. That might be a little bit difficult to think about how you create a self-paced program. But something that you could probably do, especially if you've got, I would say a service-based business, the next S stands for subscriptions. And this is something that I haven't explored yet. I really, really want to explore. And I can see service-based business owners doing really well here. I have one client, for example, who's a social media expert. So what she does is she works with purpose-led businesses and she does their social media for them. Okay. And her book was all about how to do social media well and also how to do it terribly. There was these stories of, some businesses doing social media terribly and, losing customers because of it. So her book was like a do's and don'ts of social media as a purpose-led brand or business owner. So what she decided to do, the subscription that she created, was she was creating bespoke social media images and content for her clients. She decided what she was going to do as a subscription is use those already the content that she's creating, but then create blank templates that she can send to people on a monthly basis for businesses that can't afford to work with her as a service-based owner. So there's going to be some businesses say, I can't afford your £500 a month retainer. I think that's what she's charging. I could be wrong. So I can't afford that. I'm just saying, a one-man band. My business has only been going for 6 months. I can't afford to pay you £500 a month to do my social media for me. Not a problem. I've got this subscription. It's only going to cost you £40 a month. I think that's what she charges, or maybe actually less. Maybe it's £30 a month she charges. You will get templates every month. And then you can just go into Canva with these templates and just swap out your logo and what you want to say, but you have these beautifully designed social media templates that are ready to go, and then you can post them yourself. She's created a wonderful solution. Again, is she making millions from it? Absolutely not. But she tells me she's making over £1,000 a month. That's a nice cushion, to have £1,000 a month. And again, she gets the odd email because, from somebody who's like, I can't get it to work on Canva. It's usually something that they're doing wrong. You do know what I mean? But she gets the odd email. Oh, this graphic isn't working for me. So she has to reply back and make them a little video and say, no, this is how you're meant to use it on Canva. There's always going to be, like I said before, there's no such thing, as far as I know, 100% passive income. I've never come across it. There will be elements of maintenance, but it's just little bits here and there. Otherwise, she's getting around just over £1,000 a month for not much work. She's already got her main clients, and then she just takes out bits of it, leaves a template of whatever she's created, and just sticks it into a subscription for people to download. So I hope that's giving you an idea, maybe especially as a service-based business owner, what you can do in terms of subscriptions. E from assets is ebooks. Now, I was a bit hesitant putting ebooks in because ebooks themselves definitely don't make a lot of money, mainly because, well, how much are you willing to spend on an ebook? Most people start complaining if it's more than £5 or $5. So you can't make a lot of money from ebooks. However, the reason why I put it in there, I was horrified. This is about 4 years ago. I was horrified to find out how many self-published authors were just not bothering with ebooks at all. They were just publishing a tangible book. And I just thought, you are missing out. You have no idea. The number of people who've contacted me to tell me that they got my book on ebook and then they enjoyed it so much, they then got it on paperback. People assume that it's the two separate things. There's a lot of people who buy the ebook really just to test it out and to see if they like it. And if they like it and they think it's something they're going to come back to again and again, then they go and buy the tangible book. I looked at my stats the other week, and around about, I think I saw 83% of my book sales are ebook sales. The rest is paperback. So when you don't have an ebook version along with your tangible version, you're missing out, not just on revenue, but you're missing out on people finding out about you and coming into your ecosystem. That's the whole point of these books. These books are, you're writing these books for thought leadership. Yeah. So you need people to understand your message and come into your ecosystem and learn more about you. They can't do that if they don't read your book. So even though ebooks, like I said, I mean, I think I checked my accounts last month. I think in ebook sales, I made the royal sum of around about $110. Yeah, I know. Don't spend it all at once, you're probably thinking. But it's a little bit of income. It's a nice little cushion just to get, but also it makes me happy because it means people have a very inexpensive way of coming into my world and finding out what I'm all about. Okay, so never ever forget ebooks. Don't do one or the other. Don't, oh, by the way, this doesn't come into this, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Don't do what some other authors do. Just do it on ebooks. You need both. The reason you need both is ebooks is for reach. The tangible book is for you to be seen as a credible, proper author. If you just have an ebook out, you will not be seen as a proper author. There's lots of people with ebooks now. People even have downloadable ebooks on their website. That doesn't make you an author. It's both. And that is why all my clients, I insist on it, all my clients, we publish on ebook and we also publish a tangible version as well. So we get the best of both worlds. Final one, and this is something that I haven't done, and I'm very excited to do this. I just have to figure out exactly how I'm going to do it. I've seen a couple of my clients do this, and I didn't even know this was a thing. T is for tactful reselling. Now, what I mean by that is I've got a couple of clients, they're based in the US, and what they've done is they've sold off one of their other assets. This mainly works with self-paced programs and subscriptions. So what they've done is they created a self-paced program. One of them created a self-paced program. The other one had a subscription. But what they do is very US-centric. So what they did was they sold their program or their subscription to somebody in a different part of the world, in Europe. And someone in Europe is now selling that program and that subscription. And they were able to sell a license for it. And they charged about 5 figures for it. And I've never even heard of that. I was like, you can actually do that? But you can. It's your program. And if you know that you are focused in one particular country or you are focused in one particular part of the world, and you know that your chances are you're not going to go into this other part of the world anytime soon anyway, you can actually sell a license to your self-paced program or your subscription. So what I'm thinking of doing, I haven't done it yet. This is going to on my to-do list that never seems to get any shorter, unfortunately, just only seems to get longer. But on my to-do list, I'm looking at possibly doing a license for my self-paced program to somebody in Australia or New Zealand, because I'm not planning on expanding my business there. The reason why is because I've had a client in Australia. She was lovely, don't get me wrong, absolutely adored her, but the time difference was just crazy. I was having to get up at 5 a.m. sometimes to meet her. She was sometimes meeting me in the middle of the night. There's a huge time difference between the UK and Australia. So after working with her, I made a decision that I don't think I really want to, as lovely as Australians are and people in New Zealand, not knocking them, but I need to think of my work-life balance and my physical and mental health. And I just thought it just doesn't work when people are that far away from me from a time zone point of view. So now I'm thinking, because I'm kind of getting motivated by these two clients who've been able to sell a license to their other assets, I just thought, I could probably sell my self-paced program, sell a license to it to somebody in Australia or New Zealand. That means they don't have to set up a program or anything like that. They've already got it and they can sell it themselves. And I charge them for the privilege. So that's another way of creating this extra income that's going to come in. And this one truly is passive in that once you've sold it, you've got the money and that's it. So I've seen a few people writing down some notes. That's great. But you'll be pleased to know I go into more detail in this workbook. So you will get this via email in the next 24 hours. One of my assistants will send this out to you and it'll go into more detail and give you case studies of these different passive income assets. Okay. So let me just come out and look at your lovely faces. So, hi, David. How are you doing? Lovely to see you. Okay. So let me know, did some of you know this? You sort of go, oh yeah, I already know these assets. I'm kind of building them. Or was there a gem that you saw there? It's like, oh, I never really thought of that. Let me know. What are your thoughts? Oh, let me have a look in the chat as well. Oh, so just this, actually, let's have a read of this. So David said, the reason why I've come here is to understand all the possible passive income streams plus vibrant income streams. So what do you think, David? Was there something, anything in there that you actually thought, I never thought of that, or you've actually thought of building this particular stream?
Well, yeah, half of them I've thought about. I don't know how much it costs to create an audio book or an ebook. Can you tell me that roughly? Say an 80,000 page book, what does it cost?
An ebook shouldn't cost you more than about £200 to £500 because an ebook is created after you've done your paperback. So with my clients, they will have the paperback designed. And once that is designed, it's been edited, there's nothing else that needs changing in it, then it goes to an ebook formatter. There's actual people, that's what they do. That's their livelihood. They create ebooks. So they create an ebook formatter. Now you can do it yourself. There is software that you can just put in your tangible book, which should be in PDF, and then it will turn into a Kindle version, or there's other versions, but Kindle is the big one. It's called EPUB. That's the file, EPUB, and that is the main file, mainly because Amazon has somewhere between 65 to 80% of the entire world's book market. So you kind of have to go with whatever they go with. You can do it yourself. Do I recommend you do it yourself? No, unless you're really good at technical stuff, David, because I've seen people who've put it through software themselves and then upload it to Amazon. You've probably downloaded books like that. Have you ever had Kindle books that don't scroll properly, or you have these strange spaces and the writing is sometimes squashed up, but then it's been spaced out too much? That's what happens when a professional hasn't gone through it. You know when a book has been professionally formatted for ebook just from the way it scrolls. So I would recommend getting a professional in, but it shouldn't cost more than £200 to £500 unless you've written one behemoth of a book, and then it may be a little bit more. Regarding audiobook, I would guesstimate, I would worry if it costs you under £1,500 to £2,000. It can even be more if you go into a studio and you want the studio experience, then it could be £4,000-5,000. But there's a lot of places now where you can actually speak to. In fact, I can actually put you in touch with somebody, David, who he works with me. He is able to have a chat with you on Zoom, send you out a kit, and talk with you on Zoom and figure out where in your house is the best place for you to set up your own little home studio. He'll help you set it up over Zoom, and then he'll give you tips on how to record yourself. And then once you do the recording, you send the recording over to him and he masters it. So that makes it a lot cheaper because you're not having to go into a home studio and they're not having to hire a studio and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's easy done. Now, again, can you do it for cheaper than that? Yeah, there's always ways of doing it cheaper, David. You know, if you have experience, you can do it for just a few £100s. But if you don't have experience, then you end up with something that sounds tinny, that doesn't sound right. Something that's really I've noticed about very amateurish audiobooks. This is going to sound a little bit weird, so pardon me. You can hear people's saliva when they speak. I know it's really weird. Timo's nodding his head. He probably experiences it. Yeah, it's a dead giveaway. I know it sounds really weird. It's like, Matala, what are you talking about saliva for? You can, when someone's in your ear and you're listening to an audiobook, you can hear someone's tongue and their saliva. You can hear clicks in their throats. And when it's been done professionally, all of that is removed. Professionals know how to remove all of that without dulling the sound. And it's little things like that that give it away. So yes, you can do it at a very, very cheap price. But I just worry about that because I think the whole point of these books is for thought leadership, for people to take you seriously, to see you as a really, really credible person. And therefore your mission and your purpose is taken seriously and adopted. Therefore, you've got to do things right. Because if you don't, then that affects your reputation. Does that answer your question, David?
Yeah, it does. Thank you very much.
Excellent. David, sorry there. They've got two Davids in the room. So I think David Bauer thought I was speaking to. So David, you wanted to come in and say something. Please feel free.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was really interesting, I must say. Yeah, you know, the reason why I came on was because I've been writing short business stories, very short, basically I actually started it a year ago where once a week I'd write a story that of an experience that I had, but then I would actually like make it more fun with taking myself out the role, but making it like a Disney story or something like that, you know, adding certain characters. And then obviously there was a lesson to be learned through the story. So I've written about 35 of these stories. The aim was to write 52, but I kind of ran out of steam. I was writing one a week, and then, you know, a week went past, and then another week went past. Oh, damn, I need to write another story.
It happens. Don't worry. I think everybody starts writing a book with so much gusto, don't they? And then a few weeks into it, life gets in the way. So, yeah, I absolutely get that. So you want to know if it's worthwhile to publish them?
Yeah, you know, first of all, you know, if I need to write more, which I can do, and then, you know, what would be the ideal number? You know, I thought 52 might be the right number, 52 weeks in a year.
I like that. Well, I mean, that would work really well if you actually put that into the title, as in, you know, something that says you've got a story a week. And people can really, people struggle to read books, but that's actually quite a clever idea, David, because that can make people think, oh, well, I'll just read a story a week. I can do that. I can find half an hour a week to just read a story. So yeah, that would work really well, I think.
Yeah, and then I thought, you know, what I did during COVID, I used Midjourney to create these amazing images for the story. So each story has its own image. So, you know, to put that into the book as well. But, you know, I mean, that's where I am. I've just written them and created the images. I haven't done anything else. So yeah. I'm really looking for a way to maybe look at, you know, obviously I'm in South Africa, so that's far down south. Yeah, and I think the market would not really be South Africa. Though some of the stories are African-based stories, it could be something for, you know, international. So, and it relates to anyone who speaks English, obviously.
Well, yeah. Well, the English-speaking world is a big world, so you should be fine. And the wonderful thing about publishing on Amazon is you get worldwide reach. You know, it's the same platform. So my book is available in Japan and in Brazil. Is it selling much in Japan or Brazil? I don't think so, because I don't really push it there, but it is available for anybody there. If they do find it, they are able to get my book. So yeah, it is available. So what the main question is whether you feel it's going to be, whether it's worthwhile publishing this. Okay, so
Correct.
let me answer. In fact, tell you what, these are, so just to let everybody know, these are the kinds of questions that we can cover on a one-to-one basis, because I only have a limited, I know you guys also have a limited time. There's only so much I can do. So if you do want to sit there and strategize about, maybe you've got a book idea, maybe like David, you've even started writing a book, or maybe you're not even sure about whether writing a book is going to fit you. Everyone wants to write a book, but we're all really busy. And it's a case of, put it this way, I rarely find somebody who doesn't want to write a book. Nearly everybody I meet wants to write a book. However, should they write a book is a completely different question to whether they want to write a book. And sometimes you shouldn't write a book because it's not right for your business. Either it's not right for it now, or it may never be right for it. So if you're wondering, should I write a book, or I have written a book, I'm not really sure what to do with it, I'm halfway through to writing a book like David, get on a strategy call with me. In fact, is it okay if I show you guys how to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Let me just go back to my screen. Okay, so, actually, while I'm here, I might as well show you that. So these are some of the things that my clients have been able to do after writing a book. So for example, they're able to get more referrals. A book is a natural referral machine. People pass books about. So that's great. I've had clients who's been able to land shows as an author. As an author, you have credibility, and that usually allows you to get on people's shows and get your own shows because you're an author. You're able to charge more for what you do. I'm always amazed how many purpose-driven business owners are undercharging themselves. You know, they're not getting paid what they're worth, and that's not fair. You guys are doing lots of good in the world. You should be paid fairly for what you do. And a lot of my clients find that once they have the credibility of as a professionally published author, they're able to charge more for what they do and make a bigger impact. And this is my favorite one, Lillian, bless her, lovely lady, so extroverted, so, you know, just she can talk to anybody until she has to sell something, and then suddenly she goes right into a shell and she's unable, she starts sweating. After she wrote her book, she finds that the book is now doing the marketing and selling for her. So by the time people come to speak to her, they're kind of pre-sold on what she already does, and she just finds having sales calls a lot easier. So these are some of the things that you can achieve once you've written a book. And this is the roadmap. I'm not going to go through it all with you, but as you can see, we've laid out an entire roadmap for you as an author. And that's important. It's not about just writing a book and publishing it, guys. That's not what it's about. It's about writing and leveraging a book in a specific way for thought leadership. So you get more attention on what you do, you get more attention on your purpose and your mission, and you can make the biggest impact possible with your business or brand. Yeah, so we've got that laid out for you, and we can go through that in the session. And this is just a small selection of our Hall of Fame. So we've got people who'll be able to get into major broadsheet papers, being on TV, working with very influential influencers. Influential influencers, that's a stupid phrase. That's the whole point of it. You know what I mean. We're able to work with influencers. So this is what we would cover in a strategy session. Part one would be, we would look at where you are now and where you'd like to be in 12 months. That's really key. I need to know your goals. Then we'll figure out what process is going to get you there. That's where you can ask questions. So for example, David's question right now is, I've got 35 stories, but I'm not sure whether this should be published. That's where we can discuss that and really figure out, how does that fit in with part one? And that's what I'm going to be doing with you, David, in a few seconds. I'm going to say, okay, you've written these stories, but how is that helping you get to where you want to be in 2024? So we'll discuss that. And then part three, only if we both agree that writing a book would get you to the goal that you have in 2024, only then I will show you my program, the Thought Leader Ecosystem, and then we can go into what it exactly entails, how long it takes, how much it costs, that sort of thing, but only if it's a natural fit, okay? And also what I love doing is, for anyone who books a strategy call, I also do, well, as the founder of the Vegan Publisher, I work with an awesome organization called Business for Good, and you'll be able to pick one of these causes and we will donate on your behalf just to thank you for booking a strategy call. Okay. So let me just come out of this and let me just show you how to do this. So I'll put this link into the chat right now. You know how Calendly works, guys, don't you? I don't have to show you this. Well, I'll just show you anyway. So you just, I always keep some slots on Thursdays and Fridays free specifically for people who come to the forum. And the reason why I do that is I think if people have come to the forum and given me 45 minutes of their time to learn something, then I owe it to these guys to open up my diary and say, hey, you want to talk some more? Book yourself 45 minutes in with me and let's actually strategize over what is going to be best for you in 2024. Okay, so let me just put this into the chat now. Okay, so that's in the chat now. So if you want to book a strategy call, just go there now. Okay, David, so let's get back to you. So you know what question I'm going to ask. What is your goal in 2024? In a nutshell, I know we've not got much time, but in a nutshell, what is it you want to do in 24?
All right. Well, basically, I hope you can hear me. I'm in a restaurant and it's a lot of noise. But I don't have that nice plane behind me. I wish I did. Yeah, so this year, basically what we are doing
Yes.
as the CEO Business Club is to actually grow our membership.
Right.
And what we do there is basically a little bit different to what I was doing with my book, with the book. What the book was about, and the whole idea of doing it was that I actually set myself a goal to write a post a day during 2023. Every day to write a post, and I basically did that. Actually, I did more than that. I did about 400 and something posts during that time, which included the stories.
Yes.
So I wrote a post every single day on my LinkedIn, and I posted the stories. I only did it on LinkedIn, and so this year, basically, my focus is a bit different. My idea is to actually sell membership within the CEO Business Club. I'm a shareholder of it and a partner. There's 6 partners in the club. And what we do there is we look at teaching CEOs, business owners, the capital mechanism and the financial roadmap. It's basically, if you want to know how Elon Musk made his money, that's what he used.
Okay.
So
Let me just see. So
right.
how would the book, so the book, you've got, I think you've got 35 stories at the moment.
Correct.
How would that fit in with your how would that grow your membership?
It wouldn't really. I mean, it's something maybe that we could offer, as a gift to the members. Here's some books that you can read. But it's not really, I mean, some of the stories are my own experiences that I've had in business, and I talked about it, and I translated into instead of saying David did this and that, it's Sipu or whoever it might be did that.
Yeah.
And then,
what I would say, David, and please do book a strategy call and we can actually strategize and spend a lot of time going through this. I'm just mindful of the fact that we're coming up to time. I've still got a few more questions that I want to answer for people on the call.
No,
there is nothing, I always say there is nothing wrong with just writing a book because it's in your heart and you want to write it. Who the hell am I to tell you not to do that? Where I worry is that when you write a book, it's sort of linked, but not really linked to what you're doing or what your goals are for this year and beyond. What you were saying, you're already a busy man, David. I mean, we've known each other now for about 18 months. I think we've only managed to catch up about 2 or 3 times in 18 months. So I know you're a very, very busy gentleman. For you to then write a book, which is going to take time and effort, then you will have to market this book. You now have essentially given yourself a second business because you already have what you're doing. And now a book by itself, where you haven't strategized how that book is going to be linked with your business and what you do, if it's separated, if it's slightly divorced from it, then what you now have is a second business. And this is problematic for a lot of people because they're already run ragged with their existing business or brand or career or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Can you see what I mean? And this is the problem. So let's talk more on a call, one-to-one, and let's really start, because I actually like this idea of having stories. I actually have one gentleman who started writing his book in January, just the beginning of this year with me. And he's a B Corp founder, and he's writing a story, 365 stories, a story a day of why each business went B Corp and the benefits of becoming a B Corp business. But that he is a B Corp consultant. He helps people go through the process of becoming B Corp. So can you see how that works very neatly into what he does? We need to figure something out here. How is it going to directly benefit you and gain you more members? Because that is when it's going to be sustainable. And you're going to, you said that you lost a bit of steam after a while. Trust me, when when you can see the end of the tunnel, you can see, oh my God, this book is going to get me a ton of new subscribers and members. You will not lose steam, I promise you. Then you will want to actually finish it because you can see the end goal in sight, and the end goal is sweet and you want it. So let's discuss that more. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We'll do
Excellent.
that.
Let me just quickly go through. So Karen, so what you wanted from the session is ways to get more out of your current book and upcoming one. Oh, so you got a second one coming up. Well done, Karen. And raising awareness of them too. Okay, so this session was less about awareness, Karen. This was more about building passive income streams. But I hope you can see by building passive income streams, it's like a feedback loop. It actually creates more awareness of your book as well. I know people who've come into my ecosystem outside of the book. They found out about my program, for example, or they found out about my services, but then they found out about my book. So it doesn't always work one way through. It's almost cyclical, really. So I hope that makes sense. I think you also made another comment. I like the subscription idea. I could set this up to launch alongside the next book. It's a really cool idea, Karen. If you can find a way of creating a subscription where you are able to give people value, but it doesn't involve you having to spend a lot of time creating something every month, then subscriptions are great. Whatever you do, don't do something entirely different, because subscriptions can be really difficult then because you're having to create something every month. But something like this client of mine did, she was already creating social media posts for a clutch of clients. All she had to do is just take away the branding and just make it generic. And then she can just upload them into a subscription. It would take her about half an hour to an hour a month. And she's making over £1,000 a month. Can you see how cool that is? So if you can think of something like that, something that you're already doing, can you just tweak it and stick it into some kind of membership platform and pay and charge people monthly for it? I mean, you do really, really well with that kind of subscription, Karen. So keep in touch and let me know what you think up of, what kind of subscription you think up of. Stephen's just gone. Yes, he needs to head off. Thank you, Kanchan. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate this. Okay, on such a how much? Oh, I've already answered that, David. On the sort of audiobooks, how much does it typically cost to create one of, say, 8,000? 80,000 words. Ooh, that's a long book, David. That's a long book. Like I said, what I will do is I will introduce you, David, to my guy who does audiobooks for my clients here in the UK. I have different people in different parts of the world. And yeah, he is able to send you the equipment. Let me put you in touch with them. I don't want to hazard a guess because at 80,000, I don't know. That is a long book. Most of my clients, David, write books around about the 40,000 word mark. That seems to be the sweet spot nowadays. 40,000 words seems substantial. I've seen books that are really, really thin and people don't treat those people as proper authors. It looks like a booklet, a marketing booklet. So you definitely want something that's around about 35, 40,000 words. But soon
I'm beyond that already. And it's a mainstream novel with so many messages in there that support what we talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me put you in touch. I'll put you in touch with Jeremy. He's called Jeremy. He's lovely. Let me put you in touch with him, and he can then give you an estimate. That makes more sense than me trying to hazard a guess. Just so you're aware, it will be in the thousands. It won't be like 10,000 or anything crazy like that. But I would expect it to be probably around 3, 4, maybe 5,000, depending on what you need. But like I said, it's an investment now, but you get something that is true, a professional product. You
Yeah.
can scrimp and save. I know people have just done it themselves, but oh my God, you can tell. And especially with audiobooks, it's very intimate. There's someone right in your ear. I mean, how often do you have a human being right in your ear speaking to you? You really can hear all sorts. I mean, the one audiobook, I can even hear this lady's dog barking in the background. And I'm like, oh God, no. I'm sure your dog's adorable, but I don't need to be hearing your dog in the background. It's just not professional. So I'm a big believer, do it right first time. And then it not only keeps your reputation, it enhances your reputation, which is what you want.
Please put me in touch with him. That'd be great.
Absolutely. I'll do that. Not a problem. I think I've answered all the questions, but I can stick around for a few more minutes. Mia, how you doing, my love? I haven't seen you in a while.
I'm good. I'm good. I've been busy, but yeah, things are well.
Excellent. That's good. Do you have any questions or any insights or anything that made you go, I didn't think of that. Maybe I'll try it.
Well, actually, I was kind of soaking in your ideas, and I've been playing with the idea of creating a beginner's course for my Pilates, and my book is my book idea that I've been brewing in my head has evolved from fitness shouldn't suck into training the mind, the biggest obstacle to getting fit. So since we've last spoken, so
oh wow,
yeah, I've got some ideas to work on.
Yeah.
I've got some ideas to work on, but I honestly have no, I'm like trying to think of what kind of structure this whole course that someone could follow would have. And I honestly have no freaking idea, but yeah, it's a nice idea.
Well, the good thing is just realize that once you figured out the structure of your program, you are exactly what I was talking about before, in that people who are they have a process. So your coaches and consultants, you basically have a process. Well, guess what? Your program is going to be the sort of like the heavy version of your book. Your book is going to be the light. Does that make sense? The book is going to be the light version. And then there's going to be people who need far more than the book, and they need more hand holding, and they need videos, and they need, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That could be the program. So once you figured out the program, you kind of figured out the structure of the book. And once you figured out the book structure, you kind of figured out the program.
Right. So the book would be like the program would be the hands-on version of the book.
Pretty much. So once you figure out the structure of one, you've actually done, you're doing two things, and you're doing basically the vegan version of knocking two birds with one stone, but we're vegan, so let's not knock any birds with any stones.
No. We can say they're clay pigeons. We're killing two clay pigeons.
Oh, I like that. We're killing two clay pigeons at the same time, but that's what you're doing. So keep that in mind. It's actually very motivating to know. Thank you, David. Thank you for coming. It's very motivating to know that, yes, it feels hard, but once you've got that structure right, that can be replicated into a program, or even a subscription. You can even decide to do it as like a monthly thing that people download or whatever it is.
Well, I mean, my idea for YouTube is when I have enough videos up, then it's going to evolve into a subscription-based model. So what you see is like the taster.
Right. Got you.
So then there would be the subscription program in the future, but I think that's at least a year or two down the track.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good. It was good to see you again. It's been a while. So it's lovely to see your face again.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to make sure I've answered. I think I've answered all the questions. Lots of thank yous. Oh, Timo saying thanks also. Helpful insights. Thank you, Timo. Really appreciate that. Okay. Any other comment? You've been very quiet. It's okay if you're busy and you're in a noisy place and you can't answer. That's absolutely fine. I'm not going to force you. But if you do have anything to say, please feel free to come on.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been so useful. I feel like I'm very behind with everyone. So I'm just getting started, but it's given me so much to think about, and I feel really fired up now. So
that's the whole point. That's the whole point. People are always amazed how much time I spend talking to people about not writing a book. Instead, I'm talking about strategizing what they're doing with the book. And I think I'm quite unusual that I didn't realize I was, there she is. I can see her face now. And people find me unusual because I think a lot of other book consultants and coaches focus on the book writing.
Mm.
Where I spend, I would say 50% of my time talking about book leveraging, what you got, because I think that's important. Not enough people talk about that. It's all about, yay, write a book. And I'm thinking, but what's the point in writing a book if you don't know what you're going to do with it?
Yeah.
You almost got to know what you're going to do with it before you write the damn thing.
Yeah.
Because it almost what you're going to do with it may even inform what goes into the book in the first place.
Yes.
So I'm glad that by coming today, you're just feeling a little bit more energized, because it's things like that that make you want to, like what we said with David before, you know, the reason I really believe, David, that subconsciously you ran out of steam with your book because you were just writing it. If you could actually see, oh my God, this book is going to be the key to adding an extra 50% new subscribers, are you going to then run out of steam? Absolutely not. You'll think, oh my God, I want to get this done. I want to get it done yesterday now. That's what I mean. When you can see the end goal and you like it, that is what motivates you. I need to do it. Most people are just writing a book and it's like, it's nice to write a book. I just want to write a book. And it's like, yeah, that's not going to keep you going more than a few weeks.
Yeah. I think the best bit, Mitali, was when you said you had some dates in mind and you said, right, we need a goal with some dates.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, if you want to talk more about it, just get, actually, before you go, I should have done this earlier because some people have left, but let me just put this in. What I also do is, just for coming to the author forum, you can get us to donate to a cause of your choice. So that's in the chat now. So if you click on that, you'll have 4 causes and then you can pick one and then we will donate, just to say thank you for coming to the forum. I'll make sure I'll send that out via email as well, because a few people have left, but I'll make sure I send that, but that is in the chat now. And yeah, my phone has been pinging away. So I think a couple of people have already booked. Awesome. So I'm looking forward to meeting them. And yes, if you want to have more of an understanding of how a book's going to fit in, just book yourself in now. And I look forward to speaking to you.
Just a quick question. When you say strategy session, is that included in the membership or is there an extra fee for that?
There's not an extra fee for that. No, you can.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Because it just gives you a strategy to really understand where you are. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Okay, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming. I've been Mitali, founder of The Vegan Publisher, and I'm hoping to see you at another forum very soon. Okay. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye, David. Bye, Mia. Bye, Carmen.
Bye.